All right. Is this recording? It says live, so it should be working. All right. Good morning, everybody. Welcome. Thank you all for joining us today. Let's come into a comfortable place on your mat. You might lie down or you might sit up. See whatever feels good for your body. Become aware of the earth beneath you. Become aware of the sensation of the ground, the contact of the body to the earth, the feel of weight. And just let your body experience what it's like to fully let go, to soften. And find your belly, and you might even place a hand on your belly and start to breathe in and breathe out, just letting that belly expand into the hand. And letting the belly release back down. Do that a couple more times. Inhaling, expanding belly into the hand. And exhaling, releasing belly. The next in-breath, as you expand the belly, let the breath rise up into the rib cage. And let it descend back down. And again, belly expands, ribs expand, and from ribs to belly. And now we take it all the way up. Belly expands and ribs expand. And heart opens and expands as the breath rises into the chest. And from chest to ribs to belly. And continue with this 3-part breath, Dirga Pranayama. It's a way to really establish an expansive breath, beginning at the lowermost belly, rising up into the ribs, expanding the ribs sideways, front and back. Going all the way up into the chest and lifting the collarbones, expanding the chest from the back as well as the front, fully oxygenating the body, the lungs. And each time around we go up in 3 parts and come back down as we exhale from top to middle to bottom. And I'll give you a few moments to just practice that on your own, letting belly rise, expand, rib cage, chest, and down, down, down. Wonderful. Start to now move the body to awaken the body. You can either extend the arms overhead and stretch the legs all the way down, or you can pull the knees directly into the chest and start to rock around side to side. Maybe those hands reach up towards the heavens and the wrists start to circle a little. Good. And we'll take our way to slowly make it to our seated. So however you get there is great. You might either roll over onto your side and rise, or rock and roll up and down. Let's circle the wrists one more time. Just reach the arms overhead, circle the wrists around in both directions, and circle the shoulders around. So we want to give those shoulders a nice expansive motion to get them ready for the weight-bearing postures we're doing today. Good, and then bring the palms to the heart space. You can rub them together. Either join them at the heart or stack them on top of the torso. Let me just take a moment to acknowledge the beginning of our practice, acknowledge where we are today, acknowledge this present moment that we're coming into. Find gratitude for this breath, gratitude for the sturdiness of ground. And gratitude for our health and our ability to do yoga today. We open with the sacred sound of Om. First, a cleansing breath. Inhale. Beautiful. Slowly make your way to a table pose. And stack your joints, shoulders over wrists, hips over knees. Spread the fingers wide, feel the entire expanse of the mat beneath them, and start to arch and curl your spine. Inhaling as you draw the sternum forward and up, and exhaling as you curl the spine, press the floor away. Nice. Good. Just continue with this motion, opening heart, curling spine, and allowing the back body also to expand nice and wide each curl. And as soon as you feel like it now, start to give your body some motion that's a little bit different. Maybe you can shift back and forth in your cat and cow. Maybe you can start to circle the hips around or draw some wavy motions around the spine. Potentially walking the handprints forward, a couple of handprints, you can start to circle your hips around, getting into your inner thighs, your inner hips, and inviting the rotation to change sides eventually. Your body might take you eventually into a child's pose. Once you come to stillness, regain access to the earth beneath your forehead. Feel the nice length in the spine, but without overstretching your shoulders. Let the arms be nice and relaxed. In my classes, I provide some gentle hands-on assists, but if you'd rather not be assisted today, please raise your hand so that I can honor your space. Thank you. Take it in together and sigh it out together. You start to slowly come on back into a child's pose, into a table pose. And when you arrive to table pose, keep your knees slightly separated and take your twists towards the right. Keep your left hand on the ground and open up into a twist to the right. Breath in. With the breath out, thread the arm under. And do that 3 more times. Inhale as you open and exhale as you thread. See if you can make that motion come from the mid-back, opening, expanding, and threading. One last time, inhale. And on the exhale as you thread, maybe you relax there in the thread for a little bit, for a couple of breaths. In breath and out breath. And slowly release out of the stretch. Come on back to your table and take it to the other side. Activating right hand into the earth. Reach and open up towards the left, twisting from the mid-back, threading under, and alternating back and forth between the opening and the twisting. Eventually resting in that, threading the needle. And breathing in and breathing out. Coming back to the center, plant the palms under your shoulders and start to make your way into a downward facing dog. As you curl the toes under and extend the hips back, now start to notice if your feet need to walk back a little or if they need to walk forward a little. And begin to really make that downward dog kind of unique to your own expression at this point. Just bending, extending knees, pedaling feet, and just becoming really, really kind of aware of where the tightness is. Maybe it's in the jaw, maybe it's in the neck. And start to shift forward and back, alternating between your plank pose and your downward facing dog. Feeling into your core center, that each time that you do that, fire up that strength in your belly, in your quads and glutes. And each time that you press back, feel that expansion and the release of the neck area. And eventually start to make your way into a forward fold, potentially walking the feet forward or walking the hands back towards the feet, whichever one feels more comfortable for you. And we take our time to settle in that forward fold. Some of us might place the elbows on top of the thighs, just so that you have that opportunity to rest a little without overly stretching the back of the legs. And gently roll all the way up to standing, one vertebra at a time. 2 arms expand overhead, breath in, and breath out, palms to heart space. And start to really feel into your feet. As you lift and separate the toes, feel the inner arches of the feet and kind of like a triangle underneath each foot. As you ground down further into the earth, inhale again, arms reach overhead. And on the exhale, bow, hinge from the hips in a forward fold. In for a halfway lift. And out as you plant your palms and step back to a plank pose. Hold the plank firm. First time around, lower the knees to the ground, inhale. On the exhale, lower all the way to the earth. Open your heart into baby cobra, inhale. Maybe lift the hands slightly off the ground and activate the shoelace sides of the feet into the earth. Press firm into those feet. Slowly release and press yourself back up into your downward facing dog. Shake the head no and yes. Deep inhale and exhale. Bend the knees a lot. Press the hips back. Look forward with the in-breath. Out-breath, walk or float forward, forward fold. Take your time to rise all the way up to standing. 2 arms reach overhead with the in-breath. On the out-breath, you bow, hinge from the hips, forward fold. Halfway lift as you inhale, hands anchor on shins. Exhale, plant the palms, stepping back to a plank pose. Hold active plank with the in-breath. Maybe knees lower, maybe they don't, as you come on down to Chaturanga Dandasana. Halfway through, inhale up dog or all the way down for baby cobra again. Back to your downward facing dog. Breathing in, breathing out. Shake the head no and yes. Relax through the jaw muscles. Let's slowly reach that right leg up towards the sky with the next inhale. On the exhale, bring the knee towards the chest, curl it, shoulders come over the wrists. In, lengthen it back. Out, knee to the chest. Step forward towards the right thumb for warrior 1. Dial back, heel down, open up. Once you arrive, stay active in both feet. And open up to your warrior 2. Notice there's no reason why that back foot has to stay stuck anywhere. You can always move it around a little to make sure that it is at the right spot in your warrior 2. Flip the front palm and reverse your warrior with the in-breath. On the out-breath, come into a side angle lunge, and we'll alternate between the two. Inhale and reverse. And exhale, side angle lunge. We'll do it one more time as you inhale. And on the exhale, hold your side angle lunge and stay rooted and firm in that front leg. And as you open up towards the sky, that left hand can stay at your hip or it can extend all the way up. If there is any kind of difficulty around the left shoulder, you can reach that arm upwards versus to the side. Good. Stay really active in the feet. One more in-breath. And out, return to your warrior 2. Inhale in your warrior 2, and on the exhale, cartwheel the hands down, come into a runner lunge, keep it firm, then twist to your right. As you twist, keep your left hand on the ground or on a block. Notice if your left hip just collapsed down. See if you can keep your hips nicely square as you twist from the mid-back. Good job. Deep breath in and breath out. Good. Release back down. Right hand releases. And right leg extends up and back into a 3-legged dog. Maybe the knee bends to dial the hip open. Stay really, really firm and equal weight in both hands. Square the hips with the in-breath. And on the out-breath, shift forward to plank pose. Hold it with the inhale. And on the exhale, lower down, Chaturanga Dandasana. Upward dog or cobra next. In, out, down, dog. And the left leg rises up. Breath in. Breath out, knee to the chest, curl it. Inhale, length. Exhale, curl, step forward, warrior 1. Open your heart, dial back, heel down, and see if that back foot can face about 45 degrees forward. Now open it up to your warrior two. Take some time to stabilize the posture, rooting from the ground up, maybe some circles around the wrists. Flipping the front palm, reverse your warrior with the in-breath. And with the out-breath, take it into a side angle. And we'll just keep alternating between the two. In and out, feeling into that side body. These are some side bends, part of warming up the spine. And finally holding that side angle lunge. And staying really rooted and firm in both legs. Maybe even activate the edge of the back foot into the ground a little bit more. Press into my foot more, Paul. Yes, good. Now rise back up into your warrior two. Take a breath in. And on the breath out, cartwheel the hands down into a runner lunge. Stabilize it, feet hip distance apart before twisting to the other side. And breathe in. And breathe out. Slowly release, taking it into your three-legged dog. Maybe dialing the hip open, maybe not. Just see what feels really good on your body. And then we square the hips with the in-breath and shift forward for another plank. Stabilize and inhale in plank and exhale, lower down, Chaturanga Dandasana. In up dog and out down dog. Beautiful. Good. And let's take our way slowly into the forward fold. You can either bend the knees and hop and float forward, or you can walk forward. And in your forward fold, just relax the neck, the jaw muscles fully. Let there be this experience of just grounding so firmly into the ground with your feet. You're letting go and releasing the neck completely. Just really enjoying that stabilized forward fold. Eventually rolling up a little bit at a time. Some of us might place the hands on the thighs to support our backs. Two arms expand overhead with the inhale. Exhale, palms come to heart space. Beautiful. Let's come into a chair pose, chair squat. Keep the arms forward though versus upright. And see if you can kind of actively sink back with the feet hip distance apart. Good. Stay really nice and active in this chair pose for 3, 2, and 1. Come on out of it. Bring the palms to heart space. And we'll prepare to come into a balance on the right side. So shift your weight into your right leg. Actively find that triangle in the right foot. And then lift the left knee up towards the chest. Nice. Here, grow really tall through the crown of the head with the in-breath. And on the out-breath, we're going to transition into airplane pose. That left leg will extend back. The palms can either stay at heart space or they can extend back. Maintain a subtle micro bend in the right knee just to allow for engagement of those muscles. For 3, 2, and 1. Land the foot to the back of the mat, hip distance apart for crescent lunge. Find your crescent, bending the back knee slightly to tuck the pelvis under so that you can have a neutral spine. And we're going to prepare to either stay here or take some dips. Now, Mary's going to stay here because the dips don't feel right on her body. And I'm going to go ahead and take the dips. So inhale. On the exhale, we dip down. In. And out. Five. 4. 3. 2. And 1. As you dip down, hold just for another in-breath. And on the out-breath, dial the back heel down and start to expand in your triangle pose. Now that right foot is stretching the mat forward and the left foot is stretching the mat back. And the right fingertips are coming to the right shin or maybe on a block. Good. Beautiful, Jessie. And see if you can relax the wrists as well. And just see if you can keep maintaining that nice expression upwards towards the heavens with the fingertips. One more inhale. On the exhale, rise back up and come into goddess pose. Heels in, toes out. We potentially go up and down a couple of times. Finally find that spot where we're not collapsing in our joints, but we're also not working, you know, so it's like a nice little place in between effort and ease. Shoulders are super, super relaxed. Feet are super active. But the neck and the jaw and the shoulders are calm. And we'll start to take some motions up and down here with the hands. So we can find lotus mudra and then reach all the way up with the in-breath. And with the out-breath, bring it back down towards the chest. In and out. 3 more. 2. And 1. Hold that lotus at your heart space. Relaxed shoulders, active feet for 3. 2. And 1. Beautiful. Rise out of the pose and turn to face the back of the room. For you, it's the mirror. For Mary, it's the other mirror. And we're going to come into a runner lunge hover. So your body is going to find that runner lunge, but your chest is going to hover over your front thigh. Palms come to heart space. Actively feel your strength in that left foot. Really engage those legs. Start to gain access to the triangle in the left foot, beneath the foot. And we're transitioning slowly into a balance pose here, coming into either figure 4 or tree pose. So the right leg will lift, and we'll either cross the right ankle on top, or we'll take the sole of the right foot below the knee or above the knee for tree. You can either stay with the hands at heart space or expand your arms upwards or take any other variation with those arms. Press leg against leg firmly. And from tree, palms come to heart space, and we'll start to prepare to find Ardha Chandrasana, half moon. Here, coming into your half moon balance, maybe a block underneath your left hand. I'll bring you one, Ken. And potentially maybe a water bottle if you don't have a block. And maybe eventually you don't use the block so that you can lift your fingertips off the block and use your strong core connection. Yeah, barely putting up one fingertip. Good job, Jessie. And then press as if there's a wall behind you with that top leg. One more in-breath. With the out-breath, land the foot to the back of the mat and come into a wide-legged stance facing the side. You got it. From here, a wide-legged forward fold as you bow forward, actively pressing the feet into the earth and towards one another. Breath in and breath out. Relaxed ease around the shoulders and the neck. One more deep in breath together. With the out breath, slowly start to release out of the stretch and walk your hands back towards your right foot, facing the front of the room again into a runner lunge. From here, we're gonna keep the left ball of the foot where it is and extend the right leg up and back into another three-legged dog. This time, you may, if you want, flip your dog, or you might just stay exactly where you are. If you do flip your dog, keep pressing the hips upwards and try not to collapse into that left hand. Come back through to the center for a downward facing dog. Deep breath in and breath out. 2 more breaths in and out. Now bend the knees, look forward, and float forward into a forward fold. And we'll set up to take it to the other side. Coming back to chair pose. This time in your chair pose, maybe we start to take some chair twists. Bring your right hand to the inner right thigh and activate hand against thigh, either hand or forearm, and then twist to your left. There you go. Now if that hand wants to come up and over the opposite leg, it can as well. Good. Come back to the center. Hold your chair, breath in. And on the breath out, take it to the other side. A slight tuck under that tailbone so that you're not overly arching back. Relax the neck, the jaw muscles, and twist from that mid-back. Another inhale. Exhale back to the center. And rise all the way up. Take it in together and out, palms at heart space. And we'll take the sequence to the left side now into balance. Shift your weight into your left leg. Find the strong activity in the left foot, and then take the right knee up towards the chest. And grow tall through that crown of the head. Yes. And prepare to take your airplane pose, nice and slow, drawing the leg back. The hands can come to the heart or they can expand backwards. Good job, Ken. Deep inhale. And exhale, slowly land in your crescent. Stabilize your crescent lunge. Bend the back knee to tuck the pelvis under. And either staying in your crescent or beginning to take the dips down. Inhale up. Exhale down. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. As you dip, hold it for one more breath. And on the breath out, dial back, heel down, expand the front leg to hinge into your triangle pose. And breathe in and breathe out. Now again, find that place in the middle between effort and ease, where you're fully activated in those feet, nice and relaxed in the shoulders. And rise up to find that goddess pose one more time. The heels come in, the toes go out. We can either hold our goddess kind of steady here, bringing thumb and index finger towards one another. This is one way. Or we can start to maybe add on some motions. I like to bring the arms towards one another and then open them back up so that we can work the chest muscles, the upper back muscles. If you wanted to add on some fire, you can take some dips along the way. We've got so many options here in this goddess pose. We'll take 5 more. Two. And 1. Beautiful. Rise back up. Take a moment to just kind of loosen up around your hips and then turn towards the back of the room once again for a hovering runner lunge. Take a block with you if you think you need it for your Ardha Chandrasana half moon coming up. And as you hover in your runner lunge, you can start to bring the palms to heart space. Start to hug everything towards the midline. Feel the activity in the front foot, preparation for balance. And then come into balance for that tree pose. The knee comes to the chest first. If you took figure 4, you can do that again on this side. Either way, see if you can find this place where you're growing tall through the crown of the head a little bit more. And then activate foot against leg and leg against foot. I'm just going to have you grow taller a little bit from here. Good. Got you. Deep breath in. With the breath out, we're going to start to work to come into that Ardha Chandrasana half moon. The leg extends back nice and slow, and the fingertips come to the blocks or maybe the water bottle. We're going to stay super active in that front leg. Maybe the left hand comes to the hip, maybe it extends up. For 3, 2, and 1. Land the foot to the back of the mat and come into a wide-legged stance facing the bars. Activate the feet towards one another to come on into a wide-legged forward fold. This hugging in towards the center with the inner thighs is really protecting your lower back on the way down. Learn this motion if you're ever having to kind of bend down in a certain way. Always activate the feet, activate the legs, the glutes before coming down into a fold. And just enjoy this place where you're at, or you might even come into some side lunges, or any other variations, of course. One more breath in together, and a breath out. And we'll come out of the pose and walk the hands towards the left foot again to face the front of the room for a runner lunge. Stabilize the runner lunge and prepare to take a 3-legged dog. Maybe a flip dog if you did that on the other side and it worked for you. Wonderful. Returning back to the center with the inhale. The exhale, we shift forward and hold that strong plank pose. Tuck the tailbone under, draw the chest forward. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower your right forearm to the ground and then your left. And tuck the tailbone under again. Isometrically draw the elbows back. The knees can either stay lifted or lower down for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower all the way to the ground and take one locust pose. See if you can draw the sternum forward and up and lift your legs off the ground. Really, really squeeze those shoulder blades muscles. One more deep breath in. And on the breath out, relax and release. And just notice the entire body weight on the ground in this prone pose. It's very, very helpful to just fully, with each out breath, imagine that tension is leaving your body. Good. We'll take the left forearm under the forehead and bend the right knee to grab a hold of the right ankle for a quad stretch. As you elongate the quad back, hug the inner thighs towards the midline. And continue to stretch the leg back. Deep breath in and breath out. Slowly release And take it to the other side. No bad. To a Sphinx pose, so that the elbows rest under the shoulders, and we'll either stay in Sphinx pose, activating elbows into the ground and isometrically drawing them back. This might be plenty for us. Or some of us might take bow pose, where you either bend one knee at a time into a half bow, or you take both knees and bend them into a full bow, and pressing those feet backwards to lift the chest. For 3, 2, and 1, relax and release. Breath in and breath out. And we'll slowly take our way back up into a table pose. Press yourself up, come to your table, and take a few arches and curls to loosen up around your spine. Some of us enjoy a thread the needle here, a thread the needle hold to kind of twist out the spine after the back bend. It could feel really nice. Others will go into a child pose potentially. And if you twisted to one side, you can twist to the other. Does it hurt your knees when I assist you in child? No? Okay. One more deep breath in. And a breath out. We'll take our way slowly into a prone pigeon on the right side. However you get there is great. You might decide to be on your back instead. Some of us prefer a reclined pigeon or maybe a double pigeon. But coming through downward facing dog, if you're coming into prone, you can reach the right leg up and then bring the right knee towards the right wrist, right foot towards the left side of the mat. And aligning the right edge of the thigh with the right edge of the mat. And kind of inviting the chest to either remain lifted or released down. Deep in breath and out breath. Now press against my leg, Verna. Good. Let whatever it is that you're still holding on to in your body, in your hips, in your belly, in your shoulders, let the earth have it. Beginning to tap into that deep, deep calm in the background of all things. The deepest silence. For another couple of breaths. Beautiful. Slowly start to rise out of the pose. And we're going to take that left leg up and around, extend it forward into a seated twist. Into a seated position. So we're not twisting actually, we're just going to elongate that left leg and bring the right sole of the foot to the inner left thigh. Other leg, the left. Yeah, there you go. And now as you actively sink into the sits bones, firm and micro bend the right knee, we're going to take our time and potentially hinge forward into a seated fold. All the while kind of trying to relax your shoulders as much as they're willing. One more breath in together. And with the breath out, slowly release out of the pose. And we'll make our way into pigeon on the other side. Take your way into a prone pigeon again. However you get there is great. Or into any other variation of pigeon that you did before. There's a certain quality of depth that we can begin to tap into when we practice and there's space for silence. It's a palpable experience of that silence penetrating and permeating the layers of our being. And each time that you find your attention migrating towards streams of thought, you can redirect it back into your heart and what it feels like inside your heart. Nurturing the qualities of the heart. Presence, compassion, benevolence, prosperity. And gently start to rise out of the pigeon and start to wrap that back leg around, extend it forward, taking the left sole of the foot to the inner right thigh for your Janushirshasana seated. Again, active sits bones firm into the earth, active heel, micro bend in the right knee before hinging forward. And then using the breath, each in-breath we come off our edge a little. And each out-breath potentially go a little bit deeper in the stretch. Beautiful. One more breath in. And on the breath out, rise out of the stretch. Extend both legs forward. And start to make your way slowly. Maybe we add on a little bit of a boat pose here, Navasana. See if your heels can kind of bend and press down into the ground. And then you can reach back and balance on your sacrum. You can either lift your knees or your feet like Mary just did, or you can keep your heels on the ground. Nice relaxed shoulders though. Deep breath in. Long breath out. One more time. In. And out. And we slowly release the legs down, shake them up a little, and come all the way down to the ground, onto your backs. Good. Once you arrive on your backs, take your time to pull both knees into the chest to give them a little squeeze. And maybe you start circling the knees out and in, like breast strokes a little. Maybe you circle them around. Good. And keep the right knee at the chest as you extend the left leg down towards the ground for a wind relieving pose. Maybe this is where you stay. Maybe you like to kind of rock the knee to the right and back to center. And then at some point, we can slowly take our way into a hamstring stretch. That left leg can elongate upward, that right leg can elongate upwards. Maybe the left leg bends to support the back, maybe not. And then see if you can keep drawing that right hip down to the ground and pull the hamstring towards the belly versus thinking of the foot to the head. Relaxed shoulders. Good, and we slowly relax and release the leg. Take it to the other side. Left knee to the chest as the right leg extends all the way down. Either holding there or rocking it side to side a little. And then elongating that leg upwards, either keeping the left leg extended or bending, whatever feels good on your body. Deep breath in and breath out. Good. And we slowly start to come on out of the pose. Bend both knees. Plant the feet firm on the ground. And come into a bridge pose. Here we're going to actively press the feet into the ground and start to lift the hips up. Maybe you decide a supported bridge works better for you and you want to place a block under your sacrum. And we very very, very slowly, one vertebra at a time, release. Take the hips up and over to the right slightly to release the knees to the left into a reclining twist. And then we're gonna see if we can, so shift your hips over and then stack your knees. There we go. Without overarching your back. Breathing it in together and breathing it out together. A couple more breaths just like that, letting the back body surrender to gravity. Allowing the breath to become more and more subtle and spacious. And we take our way slowly back to the center, taking your way to the other side. Shift your hips up and over. And release your knees, stack them on top of one another. And if you would prefer a different variation than stacking the knees, you can also do that. Deep in breath and out breath. Back body fully surrendered, your weight is fully relaxed into the earth. We come back onto the reclined position in your Shavasana. Here you can take as much space as you wish on your mat. You can let the entire body meet the wedding between heaven and earth, really. And it's just a wedding between heaven and earth because you can really feel the earth element in our bodies always with the density of our form, while at the same time feeling the spaciousness available to us within our heart space. Within the rise and fall of the breath. Begin to invoke once again that sensation of depth and calm. Where is the deepest calm in relation to your body? Where is the deepest silence within or around your body? Can you soften your belly just a little more? And you soften the inner thighs and the legs. And begin to invoke a sensation of light pouring down upon the crown of the head and your face, like a flower opening up to the sun with all of its petals reaching up. We open in order to receive. We open in order to give, to be prosperous. To be prosperous in all areas of our bodies and life. Om Sachidananda Parabrahma Purushottama Paramatma Shri Bhagavati Sameta Shri Bhagavati Namaha. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Take a deep in breath and let it go. And slowly begin to move the body a little bit to awaken the senses back into movement. You don't have to rush into anything, just some very, very subtle movements through the fingertips, toes. If you'd prefer to remain reclined for the close of our practice, you can stay where you are. Otherwise, feel free to roll over onto your side, right or left. And rise up to your meditative seat for the close of our practice together. Feel into the sturdiness of the sits bones connecting with the earth, as if roots are growing down under the earth. Feel the uprightness of the spine as it rises all the way up like the stem of a flower, holding the head. Wedding of heaven and earth in this human body, in this human expression, this existence. And we celebrate that by bringing our voices together with the sound of Om. Bring the palms to the heart space, either join them at the heart or stack them at the torso. A cleansing breath together. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. I thank you so much for allowing me to teach you today. The Great Spirit in me honors the Great Spirit in you. Namaste. And thank you so much, Mary, for modeling for our class today.